All right, let's get to it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Marcus Cage. Most know me by Mr. Cage. I'm the Director of Operations for Divine Works Education and Training, and I serve as the lead facilitator and creator of this fabulous program we call Proteential, teaching kids how to think before they do. You watch this video because you've shown interest. You may want to be a part of the team as a co-facilitator or a lead facilitator. The purpose of this video is to inform you, educate you, inspire you, empower you, and motivate you, not to convince you. One piece that I will share from my heart to you is that we never work with contractors, collaborators, or partners from a place of persuasion. We don't do persuasion. Our goal is to educate. And with the education that we provide via our experience with whatever it is that we're doing, in particular with this Proteential program, you take that information, you give us any feedback or questions that you may have, you take your time, you go through your deliberating process, your thought process, decision-making process, and you let us know if you want to be a part of our fabulous program. We'll also do our deliberation process too and see if we can come to agreement and build a partnership. One of the other reasons why we wanted to create this video is that there's so much interest in the program in addition to our other responsibilities. I hate to quote unquote hold people hostage because we haven't provided them with a follow-up or information. We decided to go ahead and create this video to get you the information as quickly as possible, which gives you the opportunity to say, hey, this may be for me, this may be not, this is for me, this is not, and everybody can move forward with their lives, right? This will take about, maybe my goal is to shorten it, maybe 40 to 45 minutes. I like to give gems, nuggets, best practices as I go through these different presentations that we've done in the past. This is a best practice. So if you have a program in the future that you have created and that you have seen be successful to get people the information as quickly and as effectively as possible, I recommend creating a short video to get them the information that they're seeking, helping them make informed decisions. Like I said before, it's probably be 40 to 45 minutes. I'll throw some best practices, some gems, some different scenarios within the video. But most importantly, we want to educate you and get you as much information, as much quality information as possible. We thank you again for investing your time because we believe that time is an invaluable and one of the most great or greatest assets that we have. Once time is gone, you cannot get it back. We don't take it lightly. We put our all into what we do in quantity, but more importantly, in quality. I'm going to share my screen with you now and go into this. I guess we can call it a presentation. I don't necessarily like that word because sometimes I see presentations be a one-sided monologue or lecture, and I love to dialogue with individuals with the goal of listening to understand one another. So let's hit it. As you know, we are Divine Works Education and Training. Our goal, our mission, and our vision is to empower humanity to first realize, then maximize its full potential. In order for our full potential to be maximized, to be maxed out, we must first realize. that there's potential there. Realize can be connected to revelation. It translates into a veil taken away from my eyes and allow me to see who I truly am and allow me to see the gifts, the talents, the education, the experience, the discipline, the craftsmanship that's been placed inside of me that is supposed to impact humanity in the most positive way. That is our mission and our vision. We have various programs that come underneath Divine Works Education and Training. For example, as you see my background, we have our Get It Funded 2025 program, grant writing class access granted for those who may or may not have a not-for-profit. These people or groups desire to tap into state, local, and federal funding to facilitate the services that they render in the community. We also have Proteential, which is another program underneath the umbrella of Divine Works Education and Training. Proteential, teaching kids how to think before they do, will probably be a whole nother entity. We are considering that in the future, 2025. In 2025, we may or may not go that direction, but I think we're leaning towards that direction because of the success that we've seen as far as pertaining to the revenue that's been generated in the amount of time that the program has been in existence, in addition to the effectiveness as far as how we assess and evaluate the program itself and the facilitation of it. We go into different schools and communities. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Divine Works ENT is a professional ENT is a professional coaching and training organization. We provide interactive education, training, and business consultation. That is one component that we specialize in. Outside of teaching kids how to think before they do, this is one of our specialties, is the interactive education and training. We want to involve the audience. We want to involve whether the audience is small, moderate, or large in a transformative experience where they can have takeaways that those individuals can integrate into their life, and preferably it becomes a lifestyle. That is one of the primary goals on why we do what we do, is to help people integrate these principles, these best practices, these methods into their life with hopes of it becoming a lifestyle. We do provide one-on-one and group career advancement, business development, and cognitive behavior / self-improvement classes and sessions. We concentrate once again on improving humanity's quality of life by helping them realize and maximize their full potential. These are some different organizations that we volunteer with over the years. We have been mentoring since 2007. When I first started, I was 27 years young. Next year, I'll be 45 years young. But throughout this journey, these are some of the schools and organizations that we have trained with, that we have volunteered with. And when we say train, maybe we were speaking to an audience, or maybe we trained individuals that was a part of that organization. You see Washington Junior High, my alma mater, Naperville Bridge School, which was specifically a behavior school, Bolingbrook High School. We see Joliet Job Corps. I worked for Joliet Job Corps for 5 years, from 2011 to 2016, and I volunteered for 5 months. When I left in 2016, I reconnected with one of my fellow employees there, and we came back and did a large session with a group of Job Corps students. So that's a little bit of detail though concerning that. Moving forward, these are the services and products that we rendered over the past. You see process design and redesign, marketing campaign launch and development, standard operating procedure development, employee training development. That's my baby right there. And training facilitation. Right now, we do more out of all of these 6 out of these 6 different services. We do majority of training facilitation. Then I think secondly would be the process design and redesign. Because with this program and with the other programs that we have, there's always an evolution, there's always a refinement, there's always an assessment and evaluation to improve that program. We improve the processes, hence we improve the program. That would be a gem that I would share with you, that in order to improve a program, you have to improve the processes associated with the program and how those gaps are identified. They're normally identified through the end user, which is the customer or the client, which could be a child, which could be an adult. You can identify where the gaps are by the feedback that they give verbally and non-verbally. This is some of our history, and I won't belabor these points, but I do want to share this with you to validate where we at today. So 2020, we created and hosted numerous remote workshops covering the topics of cultural diversity, grant writing, and real estate. The cultural diversity and grant writing was very trendy, during those times. That was the COVID time that we all experienced that. Over 100 individuals registered for these virtual workshops. The virtual workshops was a pivot because, of course, we couldn't meet in person. 2021, we contracted with Shaw Media to assist with the marketing campaign launch, event sponsorship, and community outreach for the Joliet Focus app. It's a platform encouraging user-generated photography and pictures in Joliet, Illinois, where we are primarily located. As a team, 2 other contractors and myself, and the whole Shaw Media team, about 4 or 5 people from their team, we distributed $20,000 into the Joliet community through partnership and sponsorship, in addition to acquiring over 700 app users. It's beautiful, 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 beautiful. I think I will be skipping this. Yes, I will be skipping. Well, I'll touch on this fairly quickly. Right now, and in 2023, we begin to contract with an organization, a not-for-profit, called Fairmont Community Partnership Group. We provided tutoring service to youth ages 20, ages 10 to 14, in the Lockport community. Lockport is about, I would say, maybe 7 to 10 minutes from where I'm at in Joliet. Students are and were provided mentoring services that help build self-esteem, character, social skills through the summer and school year. Our after-school program provided homework assistance and help with navigating social and emotional roadblocks experienced throughout the school day. I will elaborate on that in a second. This is the first session that we did with Proteential, which leads me into story time. This is how Proteential got started. It's the origin. Proteential's first workshop was done last October 2024 with 108 students, males, 7th graders from Brooks Middle School. Brooks Middle School is a middle school in Bolingbrook, Illinois, which is about maybe 25 minutes away from Joliet. One of the staffs associated with Brooks Middle School reached out to us. They went to our website, they sent the inquiry. The inquiry, and my paraphrase, was asking us to speak to 160 7th grade boys. There was about, maybe, if I can remember, at least 3 to 4 topics that they wanted us to touch on. We reached out, we set up a meeting. We went to the school, Brooks Middle School, and met with a lead counselor and a psychologist. The first question that we were asked about this possible speaking engagement was, Mr. Cage, what's your vision for this? And my response was, what do you need? And that is a gem. That is a gem. That was one of the defining moments that positioned us to create this program. The program was never created because we were looking to service people. We had already been servicing people, specifically youth and families, for a substantial period of time. I think that the school was referred to us through a new relationship that we had built that summer, the summer before school had started. But I'm giving this explanation because we wasn't trying to go into schools, because I've been doing this long enough, and I've been in communication with enough people to where people really are looking to go into schools for various reasons. But that wasn't our reason. And sometimes when you're not looking for the opportunity is looking for you. When the work is being done and there's a strong portfolio or a body of work in connection to a relationship that you build, those referrals will come. But as I go back to the story, it wasn't something we was looking to do. We asked them, what is it that you need? Customer first, client first. What is it that you need? The conversation ensued. I asked those individuals, give me 4 obstacles, roadblocks that your staff is experiencing with students right now. The ladies gave 4, and my response to them was, okay, thank you for that. Got an idea. And the light bulb came on. Instead of talking with them, getting the microphone and talking with them, I'm not going to be able to hold their attention. They 7th grade boys. I propose we do something more interactive. I've taught, I've worked, I've subbed as a teacher in the teaching capacity in various middle schools, various high schools, all grades, kindergarten, 1st grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, juniors and seniors. I've been everywhere. I have a lot of experience, hands-on, my own experiences, and experiences that my students have shared with me. Let's say we create these scenarios relative to 7th grade experiences, with hopes of integrating or inserting some experiences that connect with high school, that can prepare them to get ready to transition to high school, because that's a big step. The lady said yes. From that meeting, we went to work. It took us about, I would say, a month, maybe a month and a half, because we had to put the structure together. The logistics of it was already drawn out. 10 tables, 10 students a table. What? Yeah, 10 students each table, 1 staff at each table facilitating this experience. Each table had 1 packet with a few pencils, and the responsibility of the staff was to facilitate the experience. We start the experience, but the staff encourage participation, encourage the kids to write, encourage them with questions, keep them involved in the process. When we first did it, it was 108 kids. We did it at a college, St. Francis in Joliet, in their gymnasium. It went well. It went well. That was the first Proteential that we did. then which allowed us to transition into Providence Catholic High School in New Lenox, Illinois, which is about from Joliet. It was probably about 7 to 10 minutes away. Same goal is to help students develop strong, positive self-images and provide a model for acceptable standards of conduct in school and in community settings. If I were to alter that, I would say at home, I would say at school, and I would say within the community. Proteential is not solely for boys. It was primarily created for seventh grade boys. But as the program evolved and as we went to different community settings, different schools, we don't only have this library of experiences with boys. Now, I would say that boys, male students play a heavy part, but we do have experiences and scenarios associated with young ladies. We do work with young ladies as well, and in a very, very, very effective. All right, let's see. These were some of the dates for the year 2025, the list of engagements that we had. And I will, let me see, because I really want, let me go back because we almost finished with this. As you watch this, if you have any feedback or any questions, what you can do is, because most applicants, well, let me take away the word applicants. Most partners, potential partners that we encounter come from Indeed. But as you watch this, if you got any questions, any feedback that we can answer immediately, you can share it, via email. Or what you can also do is you can put it in the comment section of this video. This video will probably be made live. It won't be made live for long because we're going to use it as a training tool for our academy. We do have an academy called Proteential, it's the PTA, Proteential Training Academy, for facilitators, co-facilitators, and those who are looking to do Proteential on a larger scale. Maybe a person wants to invest in Proteential and to be able to do it individually, with our oversight. We have that class and we have that classroom created for those individuals and those three components. But we're going to put this video in that library so people can be able to refer to it. So let me talk about the different scenarios that Proteential presents for a facilitator and a co-facilitator. So I'm gonna touch on the different scenarios that Proteential affords a lead facilitator, co-facilitator, go into the position, talk about a coach's corner, we talk about price points, photo certification, training dates, what that looks like, and then that'll be it. I'll give you at least 3 quick scenarios that we facilitate this program in. First scenario is a large group setting. A large group setting can be at least 400 kids. Those 400 kids could come in 105. And this is me speaking from experience. We did a facilitation, which was, I would like to say, I want to say 3 hours with 420 freshmen and sophomore. It looks like this. We connect with the school. They tell us these are the 4 or 5 things right now that we want you to touch on. Once we get those 4 or 5 items, we go into the library of scenarios and we pull the scenarios that are most close and most relevant to those 4 or 5 problem areas that the school wants us to address. Now, the scenarios are created in a specific way, but there's another expression of scenarios itself. So I would have to take you through one to show you the difference between, one scenario versus the other, because our first scenario format follows just a scenario, and then it'll ask, what did the person do right? What did the person do wrong? How can a person right their wrongs? From there, it breaks down into at least 3 or 4 questions with which have points associated with them. So there is a point total associated with each scenario. Sometimes we will run Proteential without the point scenario if that school doesn't feel as though the point scenarios are relevant. If they don't add to the value of the facilitation, we'll take those away. But if we're trying to create a healthy competitive dynamic, which produces people to respond or participate, that's a gem. A healthy competitive environment invokes and provokes individuals to participate. If we go that route, then we will keep the point total there. So let's go back to what we were primarily discussing. Got 105 students come in, 45 minutes, done. Next group, 45 minutes, done. Break, 10 to 15 minutes. Next group, 45 minutes, done. Next group, 45 minutes, done. That's 420 students that was serviced with the same presentation, but it differed in the expression, of course, but they were all serviced in a 3-hour span. What happens in those facilitations, if I would give you a little bit of detail, is we have to modify the presentation, because when we are in service to a school and we are in partnership with a school, the school is asking us to touch on these 4 or 5 points, these 4 or 5 problematic areas or areas that have been identified as problems or trends. Because we're in partnership and contract with the school, we have to touch on these 4 or 5 points. Maybe we'll address them verbally. Maybe those points will already be integrated into scenario, but they have to get addressed, and there has to be a light shined on these 4 or 5 components to stay true to the expectations that's been set and agreed upon by Divine Works Education and Training and the school in question. That's one scenario. The other scenario is where we will come into a school 2 to 3 times a week for 20 to 30 minutes. We meet with right now we have one group that we meet with 9 boys, and they've chosen to meet with us 3 times out of the week. We have I hate to use the word presentation, but we use presentation for lack of a better word. We have a presentation that we start them off with that evolves as the weeks go. We also use one pre and post assessment, and then we use another assessment too. One of the assessments that we use is a pre and post. It's a pre-assessment which touches on the learning objectives in the program and the social, emotional, and learning components. Another assessment that we use identifies behavior, the consistency or inconsistencies of behaviors in 3 aspects: home, school, and community, which gives us data and feedback on what to center our guided conversations around, what to center our exercises on, what different methods or best practices that we need to share with this group to help them think before they do. But it has to be measured. So that's another gem. Before you go and do this program, that pre and post assessment has to be given maybe not the first week, but then the first 2 to 3 weeks, because it gives you a marker. It gives you a baseline or a benchmark to build from. And it makes the facilitation more intentional and more specific and much, much more effective. It's also a real good tool for kids to self-assess themselves. Self-assessment, self-report is crucial. That's the other format. The third format, and it's a few more, but I just want to give you three just to give you some real examples. The third format is when we go into a community center. We are associated with a community center in Romeoville called Ice and Fire Leadership Academy. We go there Mondays and Thursdays, and we do sessions with them for 30 minutes. I like that environment because it's centered around leadership, but basketball is integrated into it, and because there are so many different parallels between basketball and life, characteristics, attributes, it makes it exciting to be able to highlight those transferable skills, those characteristics, those attributes in the sport of basketball, and make a parallel or connection with them to school, community, home, and life after high school, and life after middle school too. Those are three examples. So let's wrap this up, because it takes a lot of energy for me to go through this process. Perfectly, I'm articulating clearly and precisely where you can understand what I'm talking about and where I'm speaking from. Let's go to, I think, two more sections. This won't take long. This will probably take about maybe 10 minutes, 7 to 10 minutes. You can also always, when you got a video, you can break it up too. You don't have to listen to it all in one setting. You can listen to it while you're at the gym. You can listen 30 minutes, then listen to the other 30 minutes. Very, very strategic with it. Let's do this. Contract public speaker facilitator. This is the position that we're speaking about in question. We're seeking these speakers to facilitate the workshop. We touched about this being a unique education and training experience designed to unlock students' full potential and help them thrive both inside and outside the classroom. Speakers, facilitators are responsible for delivering compelling presentation and workshops tailored to Divine Works mission, Divine Works and ENT's mission of empowering humanity to reach or realize its full potential. In most cases, to deliver a compelling facilitation or speech, you speak from your life experience. That's a best practice, because we teach what we live and we live what we teach. Now, this is the Proteential info sheet from 2023. This has been updated. I would definitely refer you to our website, divineworksent.com. Divine Works, DIVINE Works, WORKSET.com. Once you get to that site, you'll see a tab. Click on that Potential tab, and you'll scroll down, and there will be an info sheet that you can download. The most updated one that we have. We do have to update it because there's going to be some changes made for the year 2025, and changes made based on our facilitation program, and because we're always in a mode of continuous improvement. Uh-oh, the screen share stopped. Let me restart it again. Unique value proposition, for lack of better words, and for condensed elaboration. How do we provide value? What is our unique way that we provide value? Well, we speak to preteens. We speak their language. That's another key point. Whatever audiences you service, you have to be able to speak their language. It gives us credibility because we can talk to experiences that we've never had with them, but those experiences are relevant because they have already had them. And because they've already had them, their mindset goes to, man, this person knows what they're talking about. Because that person or group is sharing experiences with me, and they don't even know me, but I've had these experiences before. This gives us position to inform, educate, entertain, and persuade them. Once that trust is built, we can give new perspectives. Our students are taught the importance of needs over wants in the context of decision making relative to middle and high school scenarios. Most times, if you see needs and wants taught, it's going to be in the context of finances. But we teach it in the context of decision making relative to middle and high school experiences. So here we go, finishing it off. Compensation for a lead facilitator is a 60-40 split on the gross profit, which is the price we charge school organization. 60% goes to the facilitator, while 40% goes back to the company. In this role, an individual leads the entire facilitation. So 60-40 split, 60% of the gross profit. If we charge a school $3,000, let's calculate this out. If we charge a school $3,000, which you would definitely be aware of, being a lead facilitator, we won't keep anything in the dark from you, because that's not what we do. %60 is 1,800. Or 1,800 will go to you. Co-facilitators are paid $200 per session, which is usually 3 hours and consists of up to 400 students. Co-facilitators are also paid $67.50 per session, which is usually 20, 30 minutes to an hour. These are smaller sessions that consist of 8 to 30 students. Co-facilitators assist the lead facilitators in both scenarios, large, moderate, and small sets. Basically saying that when it's a large session, it's 400 kids, it's 3 hours, co-facilitators are paid 200. If we go into a school and it's that large, we normally take at least 2. One lead facilitator, 2 co-facilitators. Sometimes we'll take 3. Co-facilitators are also paid $67.50 if it's something that's reoccurring. We've been in schools for 2 straight weeks. Each day, Monday and Friday, we were there. We did 2 20-minute sessions. So that's 40 minutes. So 40 minutes a session, Monday, Friday, and those facilitators were paid $67.50. In that situation, one facilitator wasn't paid because he was shadowed. So he shadowed either once or twice. If he shadowed either once or twice, he wasn't paid for those shadows. But then he ended up getting paid for other work that he did with us with that school. And also when we go into these schools, if you shadowing or if you a lead facilitator and you trying to bring somebody on a part of your team, it's important that they shadow. They don't get paid for shadowing, but they should bring a notebook, because it's a lot to share, it's a lot to grasp, it's a lot to communicate, and it's a lot that takes place. It's just important to be a student of it. Primarily, I like to bring individuals into the fold that have a passion to help young people, have a passion to educate, and have some experience. They don't have to have a whole lot of experience, but they need to have some. But most importantly, they need to have that passion to really help our youth. Here we go with the certifications for the facilitators. Because I was getting ready to say facilitation, but certifications for the facilitators. Curriculum certification and professional development are required for this position. The upfront cost is $299. This is an annual renewal. But whenever you complete your certification and you pay, that's when your renewal will fall on. That's the date. So if I did it December the 6th, 2024, it will fall back. Your renewal will fall back on that same day, December the 6th, 2025. Individual will be grandfathered at that price point. There's no payment plan for the $299 certification. We say grandfather because that price will increase, and we will give enough notification before it does increase. Payment. Receive 24 to 48 hours after the company is paid for the service provided. Payment notifications are sent via email from Mr. Cage at divineworksent.com. Once we receive the payment, 24 to 48 hours, in most cases we pay that we like to pay in the morning. We'll send the email notification, then you'll see a pay come through Quick Pay, Zelle. That is the most reliable, most convenient, and fastest way that we pay out. If there's any other modes that is more convenient for you, we can discuss that. That's the primary platform that we use. Apologies. Let's go back. Last two slides. We are responsible for facilitating classes, sessions, and trainings. Attending ongoing trainings 2 times a week, a month. 2 times a month on an alternating schedule. Facilitating classes, sessions, and trainings. Because sometimes classes and sessions are different. Because if we like to use the term session for everything and trainings because it's an involvement. But the training is more the hands-on involvement in the process. A session could just be me, you, or us coming into a school and meeting with five or six kids. So that's something to consider. And I'm gonna touch on the ongoing trainings in a second with this next slide. Coach's Corner. We do a great deal of conceptual and procedural training on this platform. Anytime we train, we always do concepts, ideas, and procedures, how to. These are some of the things that we offer. Facilitation tips, best practices, curriculum overview, technical, which is software, web-based tools, team building opportunities, support, troubleshooting, problem solving, and encouragement, brainstorming and team building, Q&A, and ideas. We come together. You may have a brilliant idea that came up when you did a facilitation. We look forward to partnering to expedite your personal and professional growth. Realize full potential. One of my favorite quotes. With the Coach's Corner, we'll probably do Coach's Corner. My calendar, once we get everybody that's going to be involved in this crop, go through the certification training, go through the exam, I'm probably going to be looking to probably Tuesday or every other Tuesday, we will do a Coach's Corner from 8:15 p.m. CST to 9:15 p.m. CST Central Time. It is important to be there because it's going to be every other week. It's not every week. We take into consideration that a person may have a job, a person may have a business, a person may have a family. We take that into strong consideration. But it's important that we are there and virtually present. Those trainings will always be recorded. We always record to be able to distribute it to people that are absent and to capture intellectual property too. But it's important that you are there. 2024 training through our class time, 30-question exam, multiple choice, and free response on the topic of survival mode. What happens is that we'll identify a Saturday. We'll go from 1:30 to 3:30. I'll go through the survival mode course, training itself. And before that, it's important for us to research this topic. When we take the exam, we'll have enough information via our own study and research and what I give that day, and you'll be able to confidently pass that exam. Nobody has failed the exam. Training days are to be announced. We may go training. It's because today is Thanksgiving. I'm saying that because we may do training December. If not, it'll be in January. We'll know in the next couple weeks what direction we want to go into. I would like to I would like to complete training, and this is just me thinking out loud on the video. I would like to complete training in December to go in strong 2025. So that's just something to think about as you watch this. If you get in this type of position, with your organization or our organization, and you're doing certification training, this is an important thing. Who do I have, and what does it look like for us going into the next period of time? But if we don't do it December, we'll do it January for sure. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me stutter and stumble, through words. But it's an authentic, informative video to help you make a decision if this is for you or if it's not for you. Either way, we support you in whatever decision that you make. Again, if you have any questions for me, you can always email them based on that Indeed that we normally connect with people on, or you can put your questions in the comment section of this video. And as I said before, this video it may be live. If it's live, it's only going to be for a limited amount of time, but this video will be added to the resource tab in our PTA classroom, Potential Trainers, Potential Training Academy. This is Kay signing out. Please enjoy your day, when we will be in touch soon. And as always, be great at what you do, but and to be greater at who you are.